Hey everyone, I'm here with my friend Kat Millard, who went to the Undone conference in Ann Arbor last year. And so Kat, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about why you went to this conference.
Yeah, that's a good question. I had done some inner healing work before, and I knew it the Lord was moving, He was working, but there was this interior resistance still. The more that the Lord reveals, the more I desired healing, and something was off. I could tell in my prayer life, I could tell in my relationships with others, and I was keeping the Lord at an arm's length. He was safer there, and I was safer too. And so there was all of these guards that I had put in place to make sure that I was protected, and that the image of the Lord that I had stayed the same.
So what made you go on the retreat then?
I wanted to go because I ultimately wanted healing, but I wanted to encounter Him. And I knew that the Lord I had encountered before, there was more to Him, and I needed that, I desired that, I longed for that, and I didn't want to be fixed either. I know that sounds really crazy, but I didn't want to be okay, you're done, you're healed, move on with your life. I wanted to be on mission, ultimately. I wanted to do something for Him, but I wanted to do that freely and without restraint, without any obstacles in the way.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. So what did the Lord do for you during this retreat?
You have just ample opportunity to confront wounds, to actually acknowledge pain. And sometimes when, at least in my life, when I acknowledge wounds or pain, I'm also acknowledging sin. And to tell the Lord freely, I was holding you at arm's length. And I also encountered Him powerfully in confession. And it's because I just had a profound misunderstanding of who He is. Even His face, even the way He looked at me, totally misunderstood. And it was in confession where it's just Jesus Himself replaced the priest, and it's I was just talking to a Father for the very first time. It's one thing to confess your sin. It's one thing to and I've received the sacrament hundreds of times. I've been a faithful Catholic my whole life, but it was the first time. And I think that was my experience. Even after, it's every time with the Lord was the first time. Every gaze was new. Every time I beheld Him and I let Him behold me, it was new. And really just a new freedom, but just an awakening. An awakening happened where, Lord, if I can just spend the rest of my life looking at You and helping others to look at You, then great. That's what I want to do with the rest of my life. So that was it.
And it's amazing that God gave you that grace on this retreat and this conference. What would you say to maybe some women who are struggling as to whether or not they want to register for something like this, or maybe who have the same kind of hesitancies about some sort of retreat like this?
In my case, there's an excuse that I made, I don't matter. This can be fixed another time. Someone else needs it more than me. Digging around is really going to just stir up a lot of muck. It's just better if I leave the waters untouched. It's better to leave it as is. But that's not what you've been made for. You haven't been made for stagnant waters. You've been made for oceans. So I would say, give the Lord a chance to love you one more time. Give Him a chance to love you one more time. Give Him a chance to look at you, and give yourself the opportunity to look back at Him. Because He doesn't want to fix you in a hurry. This is not a conference that's going to, okay, you're changed, you're released, you're done. It's an opportunity to encounter His love, because that's what He wants to do, is to keep drawing you back into that. Honestly, I think the mission of the church, it's going to be very potent with healed women. It's going to be a powerful force that cannot be reckoned with, because healed women have hope, and people who have hope are a force to be reckoned with. And so I would say, if you want to bring hope to the church, if you have a desire in your heart to bring renewal to your family, to your own life, to the lives of others, please consider coming, because the Lord will do that.
Amen. Thank you so much, Kat. We have information in the comment or in the notes underneath the video of how you can register. I want to encourage all of you to prayerfully consider this kind of event. Does not come around very often, and it's a rare treat to be able to have it in Ann Arbor last year and in Brighton this year. I hope to see you there.